Data finesse, selling it right, no room for a guess. The mics are hot, the beats hit hard. Fans throw their hands high in the yard. Deals and impressions like a verbal sprint. Breaking it down with an AdTech tint. AdTech AdTalk, it's a live Q&A. Buy side, sell side, clearing the way. CEO spitting truth, no delay. Chalice and Gemera owning the day.
Welcome. Wait, what's that? What's going on here?
Could the world
Adam, we're live, buddy. We're live.
We're
live. I know. It's a wonderful tune. Was that what was that song from?
That's our AI song about Brian and Jeff.
Oh, Brian and Jeff. Yeah, I heard it's like going crazy on Spotify. Everyone should go check it out.
The views of the YouTube short are worse than they should be, so
everyone should watch it again.
Let's repost that.
But welcome, everyone. Welcome to another classic episode of AdTech AdTalk. And we're going old school today. We don't have any guests, which I'm really happy about because we don't have to be so nice. When the guests are here, I have to behave. I really have to make them feel warm and happy that they're on the show. I can't just go after them. So I'm very pleased to be back here with you to vent some Gareth Hates AdTech because I've got some stuff today. And chat, we're so happy to have you here because chat, also you get to be at the center of the show again. Please ask us questions. Chat is the guest today. Talk to us. Ask us questions. Tell us we're full of shit. We love it. But before we do that, we want to call out to our sponsor, Pontiac Intelligence, Keith, who joined us last week. Was that last week, Adam?
Yeah.
Yeah. It is the transparent,
low cost,
and flexible DSP. And seriously, it's the golden era of DSPs. Everyone should check out Keith's DSP. It's kind of like built by traders for traders, and they can take that one. That one was free. Adam,
Chalice is live with Pontiac in Denmark right now, doing a campaign.
Wait, seriously?
In the Danish market, yes, for 2 Danish stores, where Pontiac is the DSP and Chalice is decisioning in Index SSP. We just went live in Denmark together. It's going really well. The client's happy.
Hilariously, there are 2 companies that run all of media in the Danish and Nordic markets. We'll have to talk about this at length. The sell side is super consolidated. I
was happy when I'm pitching because we have Legos in our deck, and Legos, of course, come from Denmark. So it was really it's on brand.
That's amazing. Now wait, Adam, what were we talking about before we jumped on the show? Because Adam and I, we can't help ourselves when we're just in a room together. We start talking about these things. What was that?
Poor David Maldo is trying to get the light and audio right. I mean, Gareth getting engrossed in conversation that should be on the show. But you were telling me that you accidentally duplicated PMP and made twice as much money, and I don't understand how that's possible because you can't have sold twice as much stuff.
Yeah.
so you sold it all twice.
Yeah, and this is something that I see in lots of the people I work with. So a big group of people I sell data to are curators, and so I help them with their accounts. I look at how they're doing their PMPs, and it's a pretty widely acknowledged phenomenon that if you send a DSP the same PMP twice or 3 times or 4 times or 5 times, basically as many as you possibly can, spend tends to be equal across them, and it's not it's coming out of a single pie. It's not zero sum, where if you delete the duplicates, all that spend goes into the original PMP. It's not how it works. So your question was, why would duplication work? It's the same bid requests. It's the same opportunities, and you can't buy them more than once. And so I think the phenomenon here that is going on is when all the pacing and throttling algorithms are looking at things, and we're still digging into this, by the way, I'm investigating this actively. It's not that they are buying the same bid request more than once. It's that in a given hour, each PMP sends 1 million bid requests. Only a certain number of each PMP sends the bid requests. The DSP sends the bid requests back. Okay. And I think that's where the throttling kicks in. It's, this PMP wants to send 1 million. we only have this QPS cap available to the DSP. So we're going to send, I don't know, 100,000. Of those 100,000, the DSP is going to bid on 25,000 and deliver a certain amount. And in that world, what actually gets through to the DSP is different, even though the two PMPs are the same, because they're being throttled differently. Simultaneously, and by the way, another thing here is every exchange right now has to append a bazillion deal IDs to every bid request, to the point where they actually have to start being smart about it and being predictive and being like, well, we can't just send every single one through because this one impression actually has 300 deal IDs and we're maxing out the open RTB field that's going to the DSP. So they have to dynamically figure out this one gets these deals, this one gets these deals. Like this is a mess. And then the DSP, right, only bids on a portion of those, and the DSP is trying to pace too, because the DSP has a bunch of clients who are going, hey, I want to deliver to my deal. Why am I not delivering to my deal? And from the DSP's perspective, it doesn't know that these two deals are the same thing, right? It just knows that these are two deals. And it's trying to deliver to the deals. It's trying to pace the deals because it's like, oh, my clients want me to deliver to the deals. I'm going to deliver to the deals. So basically, there's just a mishmash of predictive algorithms trying to make things do what their clients want them to do and deliver that results in duplication just working. Where
let me just ask, both PMPs get filled, but both of them are a subset of what's available on the website.
Correct. And
different
both
subsets.
Well, and the
it doesn't mean you make
right?
twice as much money. How much more money do you make? You know, it only makes more money for the publisher if the PMPs are priced higher than average.
Correct. So I think the thesis here is that each PMP, right, only a fraction of the PMP fills. So the PMP sends through 1 million requests. A fraction of those get filled. And what is actually happening is a fraction of those are getting sent. So even if you're saying this bid request has this PMP assigned to it, when you say that, not all of them go through, right? Yep. A portion of them just don't make it through because of throttling, because the DSP only wants to listen to a certain amount of QPS. So when you make the deal again, a different subset gets sent through, right? Yep. It's not the exact same impressions that get sent through.
And so did you see the AdExchanger story that was like Trade Desk and Pubmatic are sick of deals that don't work, and they're inventing a new deal workflow, and it had a bunch of quotes from Will Doherty.
Yeah, Deal Desk.
Yeah, Deal Desk.
They're trying to deal with precisely this, where, because in theory, what you can do here is you can reduce these things down, right? Like the algorithms that are being gamed here shouldn't be gamed. There should be a single decisioning mechanism for, well, like all of these deals have these attributes, and you can reduce that into a meta deal that has like these attributes, and you deliver a certain amount against that. But God, it's such an ugly Band-Aid. It's just such an ugly Band-Aid.
Because it's manual work.
Yeah, it's manual work, and it's algorithms on top of algorithms. So like, it's just messy. Like the outcomes are not going to be predictable. I'm a big believer that the reason that all of these deals exist is because of actually, oh man, fragmentation. This is a containerization conversation. It really is. The reason these deals exist is because the systems can't move data around. And because the fields are there. I mean, I run into this right now. I'm setting up integrations and they're like, well, we don't have these fields. Like, we'll have them to you in February. And I'm like, well, that sucks. Like, I'm sending them. And all of these deals, it just becomes this global catch-all for I have data I want to append. Well, I can do it with a deal. I can append a deal. And I can't send the data. I can send the deal. And that's why they're all there. So and now it's become quite messy. So the containerization thing is a great initiative, I think, for this.
Right. And containerized RTB, or the agentic RTB standard, as it was called, to the frustration of many engineers, there are some potential solutions for this, that the deal terms can be explicit in the container, the data that comes through specific to a deal can be managed through a multi-container workflow. And Chalice and Gabra will hopefully be among the first to test and prove this.
Yeah, maybe we won't need deals anymore. Wouldn't that be nice? Like, let's just not need deals anymore. Let's target the stuff itself and not a deal.
Yeah, so far the SSP
Great.
still can't separate it out without a deal ID, but maybe it'll be just one deal ID for all Chalice containers, and everything else will be underneath that and, documented privately.
Oh, that would be so elegant and nice. We got a question.
Awesome. Let's do the question, and yeah, go ahead.
You want me to read it out? This is from.
Sort of.
Oh, you got it, Gareth?
Go ahead, Maldo. No. Read it, buddy.
From RL7115, thank you for being here. Sort of related, how does DSP sampling work? Do they only read a certain percentage of the requests sent by the SSP, or are they reading all the requests that are sent? Does that impact what sends?
Yeah. So, I live and breathe this one. Depends on the DSP. Some DSPs listen to almost everything. And by some, I'm really talking about DV360.
The DV360, the QPS machine, no matter
Oh,
what.
God. I can't imagine what their bills are, or their bills would be if they had to pay someone else to for this infrastructure. But it's astounding when you build a deal and you send it to DV360. It's like they listen to every single request. Every single other.
That's the way everyone on the buy side imagines their DSP works.
It is. That's why we have this question. I think everyone is just like, wait,
only DV360 works like that way, and it's such a shitty DSP in other ways. But when you combine it with the agentic RTB, with the containerized decisioning, it's very nice, actually. I'm saying something nice about Google. Their incredible QPS makes it really good to decision in the container.
Oh, it's the best, man. Oh, it's sending deals to DV360 is a delight because they don't throttle them. Now you have to deal with the fact that if you add a deal to a line item in DV360, it doesn't necessarily just deliver. There's an AdOps component that has to be fixed there, but it's lovely. It's amazing. Every single other DSP goes to SSPs that they work with and says, here's your QPS cap. This is your allotment. I will listen to this much from you. And that's it. And by the way, I'm going to prioritize you based on how well I deliver against this allotment you have. So a DSP will do a deal with a new SSP and say, okay, you get X QPS, right? 10,000 QPS, 300,000 QPS, whatever it is. And the SSP can only send that much. And that's what creates this miserable game of SSPs trying to guess what DSPs are going to buy, which they have to do. They have to do it algorithmically because they only have so much.
It gets very corrosive. Yeah, just connected to advertising it gets corrosive when a DSP is saying whether or not we buy, you're a lot, you're sending us 1 million, and whether or not we buy the expected share of that, whether we win, is based on what we think things should cost. Right?
Yeah, 100%.
So which means if the SSP has something better that the DSP can't detect, like low ad to content ratio as one, they lose. The SSP loses. So that it really kills the incentive to improve publisher layouts, right? Because the DSP is saying, as far as I know, this cookie on this page should go for $2, and we lost. So fuck you. You don't get as much QPS next time.
Oh, it's super perverse.
It could be really unfair, right? It could be a bad reason. It could be a good reason, but that the buyer demand for cheapness gets locked into the technical specifications in these DSP SSP conversations or integrations in ways that are bad for advertising.
Yeah. This is also why reseller garbage traffic, especially in CTV, is so popular. Because a DSP goes, oh, well, I can buy Paramount inventory for $6 from this schmuck. Send me more of that because my buyer likes that. And they don't know that you can't actually buy Paramount for $6. It's not a thing. But they see the report and they're like, oh, this is great. And yeah, man.
Paramount does own a $6 video outlet. If you're not familiar, I'm pretty sure they do.
Oh, I memean.
It's named after the ninth planet, the erstwhile ninth planet.
Oh, that's right. I thought is that still a thing?
The volume of bid requests is very impressive.
Oh God, what a mess.
Well, let me ask you, what from your on the sell side, do you have any sense of what DSPs will bid up for and how that differs across DSPs? What does that mean?
That's a really good question. I think that the experience of the sell side of the past 5 years across all the things that have happened has simply been volume bias. And that's why O'Sullivan and the trade desk doing what they're doing has ruffled feathers.
Yeah.
Because for a long time, yield was just how do I get the trade desk to bid more? And lo and behold, duplication is the way to get the trade desk to bid more. Because every DSP who has a QPS cap, if you can get yourself in front of them more, you make more money.
Yeah.
And every single DSP has a QPS cap. This works with every DSP without fail. It's not the DSP's fault, by the way. This is one of those things. This is really a no fault issue. This is just like a weird emergent trait of how this technology is built right now. And the trade desk were the first ones to come out and say, no, we're going to try and undo this. And the only way to undo this, unfortunately, is to like do a little reimagining of the architecture here. But for publishers, right, this is all a mystery to them. They're like, wait, I don't know what the buyers are actually buying. I'm going to assume it's cookies. And to get more, I just put more ads on my page and I hit them as much as humanly possible. That has been yield optimization for the past decade. That's what it's been, which is awful.
Is anyone
right?
besides Trade Desk talking about trying to fix this? Like, Stack Adapt must have QPS concerns and costs. Like, Viant, but they're agentic.
Well, we have to get the Vanderhooks on the show. All right, I'm going to reach out to Tim and Chris because they're hilarious and wonderful. I think a lot of DSPs have kind of seen this ecosystem happen and are very much like pure buyers. And so they're just kind of in the situation where they go, this is just fucked. Like this whole, whatever this is I don't want to buy this. And it's not in my client's interest to buy this. And CTV is a lot easier to bite off, right? Because you can do 10 CTV integrations and you have everything you actually want. And so I think that the attitude that I've seen from other DSPs is simply, oh, this is just the way that programmatic banners work and it sucks and we're just not going to bet the farm on them. But I bet my farm on programmatic banners. So. I don't love hearing it.
What's better about CTV is that you know who the premium players are and who the long tail is, so you can just balance your QPS on them.
100%. As long as you are not like a what's the word I'm looking for here? You used this one a while back. A simpleton. As long as you're not a simpleton, CTV is actually relatively straightforward because the ads are. As long as you buy real ones, they deliver in a relatively predictable environment. And to buy real ones, you can get on the phone and you can say, Paramount, I'll talk to you. You can say, Disney, I'll talk to you. Send me real things. Now, that is to say, do all DSPs do that? No. Some DSPs just buy whatever's in the bid stream. And they're the simpletons. Well, charlatans may be better because they probably know what they're doing. But yeah, that's.
I'm not sure what Rob's talking about. What is Rob? Where's your perspective where money follows measurement? CTV is less measurable than banners.
Let's hear it, Dykert. You're not shy.
Who is he?
So Rob now runs the exchange at Triple Lift. Huh. And Rob has been at Criteo. He's been at Rubicon. When it was Rubicon, which was fun. He's worked at publishers. He's first key feature of DSP is spend money. True, I agree. It's an unpleasant truth, right? They want to spend the money.
Why is he talking about measurement? Step on the damn gas.
Yeah, step on the gas, baby. I mean, this is a thing where publishers also don't understand how they're being measured. But these are all being fixed, right? Like I'm not gonna come on and doom about these because I really, really, really do think that there are a few companies out there that are fixing these and are making these very actionable. We happen to run 2 of them, but there are probably another 8 or so, and then the trade desk is giving a shit about this. I still wake up every day in disbelief that the trade desk gives a shit about this. Like I never thought I would see the day, and it's awesome. Like
Yeah,
it's
they're getting more mud and shit thrown at them than ever. It's like two more stories this week about how everybody hates them. One SSP, one clearly coming from SSPs, and one allegedly coming from clients who don't like Kokai. And I actually, I think about it in the shower. Should I go on the show and defend Trade Desk from all this stuff? Should I pile on? Should I just be silent about it? Like, actually don't know.
Why don't people like Kokai? I am but a simple sell side person. What's so wrong with Kokai? Like it is the butt of every joke, man, and I don't get it. It can't be that bad. I've been in a lot of DSPs, and some are really bad.
Yeah, I'll say a couple of things that are true. They took away some control, which the control freaker are more. I mean, someone coming from my perspective that doesn't like. I want control over automation, and that there's less control.
Hmm.
But where that control comes from is in pacing. It's a much more aggressive pacer. It prioritized pacing higher. Like your friend Rob was saying there, the first job is to spend. Trade Desk was actually pretty gentle on that score for the first many years of its life, and I think one of the reasons it could perform well is that it didn't value pacing over performance. It wouldn't pace something that wasn't getting the performance signal back. So yeah, really true to what Rob was saying, like the pacing followed measurement and performance. And I'm sure it's also true of Pontiac, which you might remember is a low cost, flexible, and transparent DSP. Thank you, Pontiac, for sponsoring the first segment of AdTech AdTalk this week and every week. So yeah, it's a more aggressive pacing is good for the lazy trader, right? There's a lot of lazy traders who all they do is pace. I think I've said on the show before, the head of an agency trading desk once told me we just try to pace the campaigns and go home. Meaning it took them a bunch of work just to pace the campaigns. And yeah, that's a true thing of Trade Desk, but it's easier now. They're more aggressive pacers and making more decisions for the user so that more aggressive pacing doesn't result in bad performance. And then yeah, people always complain about UI changes, and I won't say anything about the periodic table. I haven't used it myself, but I think a lot of things are, of course, some complaints are overblown. They get such complaints because they're successful and people don't like change. But there are some facts about Kokai. More aggressive pacing, less control over things like, they got rid of above the fold. And Rob from my team is always right. And a guy I trust is like, above the fold is stupid. It's a newspaper thing. You shouldn't target
it. It is stupid.
They should get rid of it. But, other people complain they got rid of above the fold, and now you have to
liked it.
They have to use an algorithm that costs 6% to optimize inventory, and it looks like a bit of a black box.
Oh, that's so interesting. I find it really fascinating because I'm kind of the mind that there are really like two extremes of people. There should be people who want it to be hyper customizable and people who just want it to do its job. Like the middle ground actually doesn't make much sense to me. The middle ground where it's like partially configurable, I just feel like an algorithm would always be able to do that better than a human. But
what do you mean? What do you mean? You said it should be automatic or custom and not in between. I caught that.
Yeah.
But then what?
So like the justification for in between, right, is that a human with limited access to toggles, right? Because a human can never touch all the things, right? You're not going to build a UI where a human being can log in and say, I want this part of the bid request to be this part of the bid request to be this, like every field by field. You're not going to do that. You're going to pick and choose.
Yeah, we would if it made sense, but it's way too much.
No one wants that. So the middle ground, right? If we're saying they took away some control, it's just that they took away some of the fields that were in there. And the justification for someone being mad would be them saying, when I had access to those fields, I could make the campaign run better. But like the algorithms, that means the algorithms aren't doing their jobs. Like an algorithm should be able to do a better job than a person at that. Like it should be hyper customized or let the algorithm do it. And I know that this isn't the reality. I know, but it should be like, that should be the bar that we have.
Yeah, that all makes sense. But you got to keep in mind that the KPI might not be available to the platform. if the real, I mean, and Trade Desk faces this all the time. They're measured through Google conversions, not Trade Desk conversions. And if they don't have that data, not processing that data, it might be necessary for the human to steer against the algo a little bit. And if you take away that control, it can be really frustrating, just in reality of what you're trying to do. Or if it's offline sales and that they don't, they don't have the offline sales feed. That happens all the time. Or if there's a quality initiative that can't be conveyed to Trade Desk yet, in terms of add to content ratio, refresh rate or something that they have the data but haven't made toggles for. But yeah, my challenge to Jeff would be, and I prepared this for the show, but didn't get a chance to challenge him on it, would be, do you really think one algorithm is going to serve every Trade Desk customer? Like, are you really gonna stake that claim? Because Chalice is like, we're a living challenge to that. Our idea is that every big brand should have a different algorithm for every campaign, every product, every SKU, every campaign. And Jeff said the opposite. I want to know from Jeff, are you really at the opposite extreme of that argument that Kokai serves every customer? They invested in us and in another custom algorithm company. So it would seem that they believe in custom algorithms, but they seem to be at the same time trying to argue that Kokai solves all problems.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they're taking my perspective, which is, you can use custom algorithms in Trade Desk, or you use Kokai. Right? That seems reasonable to me. All right, we got 2 questions.
All right, from D. Right. And by the way, great smile in that profile pic, my friend. As more companies focus on ensuring high quality inventory, how do you think that will shift the competitive landscapes for DSPs and advertisers?
Well, first, that shift is not necessarily happening. We hope it's happening, and we hear a lot about it. I would say it's happening because of generational change, that the people who are coming into the brands have enough agency experience to know how polluted the display and online video markets are, and we'll say, we're not gonna spend money against that pollution. I think DSPs will respond, and they're already responding with Trade Desk's initiative being the leaders, and I think Keith and Pontiac being another example, just focusing on where there's verified users and devices and TV. Our friend Geo from ADEM is another one. I think it's just like taking a stance against garbage inventory, and there's a lot of ways to do it. We're not going to buy MFA. We're not going to buy fraud. We're going to have built in I think of it as a floor raising, right? Like there's always a floor of how bad inventory could be. Like there's never been, only Google has sold ads, unlike ISIS videos. Like that's below the floor, or showing up on porn is rare, but that's below the floor. But there is a floor of how bad an inventory can be, and it's rising, and it's not rising like in one line levelly across the whole industry, but it's rising in a lot of different places, and that will manifest a lot of different ways across the buying landscape. Chalice's position is it should be custom. You should set the floor yourself for all the different things that you might have to tolerate in a buying landscape.
I think the first part of your answer too is a really important, interesting one, which is that there's a generational change going on. Because my pet theory is that programmatic has been a slush fund for agencies, and they actually haven't given a shit about what they've bought for a really long time. It's been hey, we have a list of user IDs. We're going to tell the client we hit them and spend the budgets. And the rest of it is a nit, right? Like anything else that goes on in programmatic, apart from that happening, doesn't matter. Spend the budgets and give us a kickback of some of them so that we can survive. And I guess that might be changing, which would be lovely. Like that means that programmatic is going to start to work. And I think what that means is for the DSP landscape is the incumbent DSPs who were beneficiaries of the old hit these user IDs, make sure we get our kickbacks, and then then you can do whatever the fuck you want. That old guard is now being challenged, right? If the expectations are changing, the product requirements are changing. Because there are a lot of companies that were built to deliver that as a product, make it easy, hit the list, and nothing else matters. That's a very different product than a DSP that's decisioning on inventory quality, right? That's a whole different thing that has to optimize to outcomes. That's.
I don't think it's that bad. I mean, they've always had valuation as part of their core function. Bid higher for higher value has always been part of their core function. So I see it as more less of a revolution and more of a just an extension in that, what Jeff calls price discovery, what I would just call value prediction.
I love that people are talking about optimizing outcomes now, because to publishers, we just feel like that hasn't been a thing, because it's been slap more ads on the page, DSPs spend more money, and like that doesn't seem to be outcome or incremental outcome optimized to me. It seems to be something horrible, whatever it is.
I'm hearing we do have a guest this week.
Oh, we have a guest?
Yeah, this is incredible. Like a U.S. senator has agreed to come on the show.
No way.
Anonymously.
Oh,
To talk about AdTech.
I wonder who it is.
Well, I don't think we're going to find out who it is. Like, Maldo, what is it? He's going to come on in silhouette?
Yes, we're ready to bring on the guest. He's in the green room, ready to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Senator AdTech.
Thank you very much for having me, Alex and Gareth. It's an honor to be here.
So Senator AdTech, there's been a lot of argument about
think
transaction
it is
IDs, and I
important
wanted to get your
that the
position on
American
forking
people
pre-bid.
fully understand. Everybody in America knows that our current bid request system is broken. It is dysfunctional. It is cruel. It is by far the most expensive bid request system in the world in terms of compute costs, and the only bid request system of any major country that does not guarantee deduplication as a human right. We are unique in that respect.
I guess Senator watches. Senator AdTech, is there any potential for things to get better?
People are saying no to a rigged auction. They no longer want to see an industry where almost all new revenue and wealth is going to the top 1% of companies.
I can get behind that.
What about the new agentic standards? Do you see any hope there in the IAB's agentic
The American
RTB?
people understand that bringing ad tech companies together trumps dividing ad tech up.
So you're saying programmatic could be better than walled gardens if we unify?
The American people understand that unity, helping each other, trumps selfishness. Throughout history, when Americans have stood up for ad tech justice, they have prevailed.
All right, let's get to the role of AI, and especially big AI. Chalice is small AI. What about the
The
effect on
scraping of our websites by the 1% must stop.
Okay. I think that covers a lot. Can you just specify some buzzwords that are important?
When we enter the agentic era, it will be with fragmentation.
Oh,
wow, he does
happy
listen.
to hear that. Wow, he does watch the show. Senator, is there anything else you want to say before you have to?
Gareth Glazer, Alex
Yeah.
Heimlich, I am once again
Adam.
asking for your support. Your financial donations are what keep this movement together.
Oh, wow. Thank
That's
you.
in poor taste.
That reminds me, do you think Microsoft is going to have a play
Our
in AdTech?
publishers are seeing their websites scraped. Their costs are doubling and in some cases quadrupling, while the AI billionaires like Satya, Nutella, that's not ad tech innovation. That is ad tech oligarchy. And the people of our industry will not tolerate oligarchy.
Okay,
Wow.
if you say so. I mean, there is a lot of competition in cloud providers.
Thank you very much for having me, Garrett, Alex. I hope to see you again next time.
All right, folks. Senator AdTech. Wow, that's incredible.
Nice of him to
You're a
come on.
senator. Whew,
I don't even remember what we were talking about.
he is fired
That
up,
was,
huh?
I was just enthralled.
Wow. I mean,
I do
people,
think
just
I
how
think we have two
far
more
the show has
questions.
come.
Yeah, I think we have 2 more questions. Let's see them.
You had
Let's see
more
them, Malta.
questions?
What's in there? We got more questions.
Oh
Keep them
God.
coming.
Oh,
All
yeah,
right,
we had
let's
a-
go, let's
we
go
Keep
had
back
them
to
coming.
the
I'm
chat.
ready.
Yeah, we had a couple comments from more comments than questions from our friend Rob.
Oh, okay.
The
Nice.
first is again, and this is back in the earlier conversation, but if measurement is wrong and the algo is optimized to it, you'll hit the wall at 100 miles per hour with your career. If my career has ever been going over 30 miles per hour, I'd be so happy.
Gotta get to 100 miles an hour first.
That'd be an improvement.
Yeah.
And the second comment is Rob saying his guess is measurement wasn't right when it was controlled by humans. Making it automatic doesn't fix that.
Yeah, you know,
He sounds
people talk a
buy-side.
I think he kind of is getting there now because it's triple lift. But I think people talk a lot about measurement. And if there's one thing that I feel like I've learned in the past 6 months from talking to buy side people, it's that nobody agrees on anything. Like by the time you're talking to an agency, there are people at the top with models from the 1970s that are completely divorced from anything that is recognizable to me as digital measurement, right? They're just completely divorced. And so all of these things that we do just don't matter to them because like they spend 10% of their budgets on digital total. And like where how can an algorithm optimize? But I will say this, if a human can do it, an algorithm can do it. This is the promise of agentic. Is if a human being is doing a thing to make a thing happen, you can do it via APIs. You could. It's possible. They're
Yeah.
reading a report and going, I should buy more of this.
What does this have to do with measurement?
Well, because theoretically, if a human being can do something better than an algorithm, they are reading a report about some sort of measurement, and then they're going and they're acting on it, right? So they get their spreadsheet down. That's like, oh, this zip code's crushing it, and they go, okay, go buy more of this zip code campaign.
Yeah.
And
That's wrong.
like,
That's wrong.
do people not do that?
Well, it's wrong. If it's physical goods and that zip code's doing well, you want to buy it. You want to move to another zip code.
Oh yeah, it's just an example. This is just me saying
I
if
feel
there's
like I'm over
someone,
it.
if there's
I went through measurement hell. You know, trying to stand up a custom algorithm company is all 9 planes of measurement hell, and I'm through it. I'm the other side. I do not cry about measurement. What the
So what do
brand
you
says
do?
is successful is successful.
Yeah, so they must tell you though, right? The brand has to
Yeah.
tell you it's successful.
They tell you by giving you more money or not.
Oh God, that sounds so stressful.
I know. But I'm through it. I am through it. I tell my team all the time, like, don't wring your hands so much about measurement. Even if the agency person is telling you it's not performing well on their measurement, like even that, you can't take you got to optimize, but don't take it too seriously. It's probably not the ultimate measurement anyway. You could achieve that and miss on something else.
I'm not sure how to interpret that, Adam. Is that nihilistic? Is it optimistic?
No.
What is it?
We can do
What
the
is
real
it?
thing. We can set up a scientific control, PSA, and optimize above the PSA. We can prove scientifically that we're driving incremental effects. We could also do this with geographic holdouts. We've proven it through MMMs. Like we can do the real thing. And there's demand for but most of the world is hand-wringing over, oh, is this a good proxy for that? And is this metric mean that? And is this properly measured? And is the tag picking this up? And it's like, it's noise. It's like there's some CFO sitting there deciding whether the advertising is making money or not, who doesn't know anything about this and never will, right? Digital is big enough that $100 million is being spent. If they're not getting $100 million back, that budget's going to be cut. The CFO can tell. You know, like we still have left over these conversations from when digital was so small compared to TV and billboards that you couldn't read the results in the company books. Now they can. So like a lot of these little conversations are, as I said last week, I think a circle jerk.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
I don't want
it's
to eat that cookie.
well, I mean, you're the one who's always told me that
Marley is holding her head.
well, I mean, what's the term that they're looking? Investment. They always talk about it in terms of investment.
Yeah, exactly.
I know that you love
Spending.
that.
And what we were
Yeah.
talking about algorithms before is just the manifestation of that, right? Is like, you know, in the office of the CEO, the CMO's job is to spend the budget I gave them first, right? So the algorithms reflect that, like until, right? So when they're not thinking of an investment yet. You know what they think of as investment? This is interesting. Discounts, coupons. If when casinos give things away, when credit cards waive your fee, and when CPG brands do coupons, those are intensely measured for incremental effects because they're costs, right?
Right.
Those are not treated as advertising costs, which a big brand often thinks is the same as throwing money in the toilet. Those are considered costs that you're supposed to get a return on, and often they're measured out of the CFO's office, and there's no problem measuring it. They're not wringing their hands and crying about ad tags. Like they can measure the effects of a discount. If you're in a casino and you get a free drink, the casino made money on that. There's no question. Right. Like they have it perfect. If the credit card company waives your fee, they know they have correctly predicted you will spend enough money on the credit card to make up for that. And what's the other one? Coupons. Every single time there's a coupon, if it falls into your hands, you are likely an incremental customer for that thing. It's hard to find coupons for the shit you buy all the time by design.
Oh my gosh. You want to know something? So this is a hilarious concept because my first job out of college was for a Groupon cologne. And do you remember Groupon? Where it was like based in group buying?
It's memorialized in Broad City because Alana Glazer was a Groupon. What do they call it on Broad City where she worked?
Oh, I forget. I loved Broad City. I loved Alana.
I love that show.
She's a fellow Glazer. A fellow Glazer. But this was really interesting. So Groupon became very controversial, and all of these group buying companies became very controversial because lots of small businesses signed up for them. And part of Groupon's business model was they said you need to offer an extreme discount, right? This needs to be a discount that you don't offer anywhere else, but we are going to get tons and tons of people in your door. And what ended up happening is small businesses would sign up for this. They would sell 3,000 50% discounted meals, and then they would go out of business. and this was a real thing. And people accused Groupon of being predatory. And they were like, you're predating upon these small businesses. And Groupon was like, what are you talking about? This is a marketing investment that they made that they shouldn't have. Like they just didn't do the math properly, but we sent them 2,000 customers and it was up to them to convert those customers into things that made them money over time. And no small businesses were capable of wrapping their minds around this.
You need data science.
Not how they thought about it. But the truth of it is that like
London.
This is why CPA became so easy for them, right? This is why Facebook advertising works, is because you put in $10, you get out 12, and it tells you that on a screen. And that's why they love it.
That reminds me of this week's Post-Mortem.
Ooh, let's see it. I love this week's Post-Mortem.
Please join me in inviting President Barack Obama and Kehinde Wiley to unveil the portrait.
What the fuck? Maldo, is that you?
I love it when you surprise me.
Look at that suit. All right, Post-Mortem. Our most popular feature with us. So we're talking, what were we just talking about? Bragging about metrics?
CPA. Bragging about metrics. Bragging about ROAS. This poor person posted this.
I like this guy. I like this guy who posted this. A company called Attain. And they're AI posers, right? I'm wearing my anti-AI poser shirt from Terry Kawaja's event. But they have an outcomes pitch, a lot like Chalice's. And here they're claiming a 14% conversion rate on it's apparently a display campaign or a programmatic campaign. And that's unlikely, a 14% conversion rate.
Wait. Yeah, go ahead. I slacked you about this. Conversion rate is one of those terms. It depends on who's using it. When affiliates do it, it's referring to click to conversion rate.
Affiliates.
Yeah, performance buyers.
Is that what he's talking about? Is it an affiliate thing? You know, I put it on the show because I asked, and the guy who I'm friendly with and I like didn't answer. So I'm like, oh, let's just see what Gareth thinks and what people think. And maybe that's a click to conversion rate, but for McDonald's,
it's gotta be, man.
It's actually bad. If people, only 14% of people who click the McDonald's ad actually order McDonald's, that's kind of low. Like, because like, what were they, surprised by the menu? Like, Oh, I thought they were gonna have turkey. I don't see the roast beef. Like, why would you
Yeah.
click that and not get McDonald's?
I mean, I've
Like
seen a few
rib?
click-to-conversion rates in my day. It depends on the conversion, right? So it depends on what they're talking about. If this was signing up for a credit card,
It was McDonald's.
like it was actually McDonald's.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Like, wait, why would you click? 86% of people who clicked on the McDonald's ad did not get McDonald's. What were they
Wait,
doing?
wait,
Researching?
who's a new customer for McDonald's?
They're looking for the Shamrock Shake in November.
Who hasn't eaten at McDonald's? Like what is a net new McDonald's customer? That's crazy. Well, so I would believe 14% click to conversion rate doesn't sound nuts to me. I do think
That's what they meant.
what caught my, if that's what they meant, which God only knows, it can't be impression based. 10% of the people who saw the ad, there's no that would be wild. Like that would be the best
Impression based
campaign
conversion
ever.
rate, if you don't know, is usually like a good one would be 0.00.
Yeah,
That's
decimal
good.
points. It's not a thing. But I what caught my eye on this one was optimizing. Because when I read this, I was like, oh, this is an outcome measurement company. Because like that seemed to me to be what Attain did, and I was like, who optimized this? Like, who did that?
Yeah,
'Cause
it's a
somebody has
credit
to
card
do-
panel, so they could certainly have buyer segments and they could certainly measure them, but they've decided to go to the market with a very chalice-like optimization outcomes pitch. And I don't know, they're a bigger company than me, so I'm not punching down. And we put a lot of marketing materials
Punch down
out
or not,
knowing they'd
buddy.
be copied, so I can't be that mad, but I am calling them out. Like, this is not an optimization outcomes company, and they didn't drive 14% conversion rate on a display campaign.
Hey, they used all the right words, man. Delivered measurable incremental ROAS.
Yeah, it's buzzword bingo. Well, that's Post-Mortem this week. Oh, do we have the Grok post, or are we doing that in the extra separate Grok section?
I hope everyone saw this.
Yeah, we're putting this on the show to make sure this gets publicized. Somebody asked Grok, how would you describe Elon Musk's physique? How about his mind and his relationship with his kids? I wish we had the Grok voice to read this out, but Grok replies, Elon's physique is lean and wiry, honed by intense work ethic and activities like martial arts training rather than bulk building. His mind operates at genius level, blending physics mastery with visionary entrepreneurship that reshapes industries. He maintains a close, involved bond with his children, emphasizing education and adventure, though family dynamics reflect his high-stakes life. I'm fascinated with Grok as the world's first completely evil AI. This is one of the funnier examples, but I think we should laugh at evil AI while we can, in case it takes over the world and murders us for laughing at it. But right now on Grok, it's funny as hell. You could ask all kinds of ridiculous questions about immigration or race science, anything about Elon and X, and it will argue tirelessly the most absurd, clearly Elon Musk positions.
Yeah. Now Elon came out and said that this was a bad actor who seeded it with these responses and like with this like level of tone.
Isn't that a
And-
given? He is the bad actor who trained it on his own bullshit.
I mean, I think my favorite part about it is that it like tries to make excuses for why he's not bulky. Like, like he's not training for bulk, okay? He's training for efficacy and wiriness. That's why he doesn't look like a bodybuilder, like obviously.
This was followed up by who would win a fight between Elon Musk and Mike Tyson.
Yep.
Grok said that Elon would beat Tyson.
People really went to town with this, and it's one of those things too where I think it's a reminder for all of us who are using LLMs like all the time, because like I have a new LLM product coming out for publishers, which is really cool. But you got to be real careful, man.
They're gonna have personalities. They're gonna have
things.
Yeah.
They can hallucinate wild things based on what they are told to is like the truth that they should be delivering. And because what I find most remarkable about this is that there's no way Elon said, say that I'm like Da Vinci or Newton, right? Like there's no way that was a direct order to the LLM. The order was he's a genius, and the LLM was like, all right, I got some geniuses. I'm gonna craft a narrative here.
We could have some LLM data scientists on the show to get their more educated theories on how this happens. But mine is that he just trained it on very obsequious podcast transcripts, right? He's gone on lots of podcasts with very worshipful
interesting.
interviewers, and there's been worshipful discussion about him in his little circle. So I would think he just trained it on those transcripts. We do have an AI bot trained on our transcripts. I guess we're not ready to play with it this week, but
wait, can we ask it about Adam Heimlich?
Yeah, yeah. Let me see.
No seeding it. No seeding it. No one at Chalice seed the algorithm. We want an unfiltered take.
Where is it? Is it in the Chalice Claude?
It's in Chalice chat.
The Claude one, right? Or the GPT?
GPT.
What would we call it?
It's called AdTech AdTalk Advisor, perhaps. I'm going to see if I can pull it up here.
AdTalk Advisor. It'd be funnier to ask it who is Gareth Blazer, in my opinion.
They tend to be nice. They do tend. They're very rarely mean.
Claude is super nice. It's searching Slack for it. I gotta tell it where to look. I couldn't find Robbot too. We have a really advanced bot with agentic capabilities based on our VP Solutions architecture, who has trained the whole team on all our products and how they work. And we took all those training modules and made a bot. It has so much information in it, all Slack conversations he's had explaining things, so he doesn't have to explain things anymore. And yeah, we just released the 2.0 version of it. It's insane.
It's so amazing. Modern work is great.
It's great. All right, we'll see. It might have to be next week that we get the one trained on us. Maybe we should add some. Maybe we should talk about us doing things we can't do so we can see how the AI reacts.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea.
It's like, Gareth, so you spent the weekend playing polo, didn't you?
How was your jaunt up Everest the other day?
Oh yeah.
How did that go?
It was good. We had a polo match at the peak. Let's see what we can get this bot to say. All right.
Do people still know what polo is?
It could find out. It's still looking. All right. Let's do our last bit. Oh no, we have 2 bits. While we're on Grok, we're going to have a feature on Grok, and we're deciding what to name it. So we're asking the chat to participate in this naming, and our own Sasha Eccentric is going to read a list of potential names for our Grok bit. Go ahead, Sasha.
All right, let's get Grokkin'. I want a Grok, classic Grok, yacht Grok, or alternative Grok. We also have, do you smell what the Grok is cooking? Grok with you. Old time Grok and roll, pop Grok and drop it. Hard Grok cafe, freedom Grok, holy moly guacamole, Grok the Casbah. If this truck is grokkin', don't come a knockin'. Between a Grok and a hard place, Jingle Bell Grok, very in season, Grok Lobster, School of Grok, Grok you like a hurricane, Grokaway Beach, We Will Grok You, Detroit Grok City, and I think the strongest, I love Grok and Trolls.
All right, thank you, Sasha. Chat, give us your votes. You get to decide what we call the Grok feature out of anything on that list. I see you there.
I'm equally excited about Sasha's nickname. Sasha Eccentric is an amazing nickname.
Yeah, she told me that. All right, one more bit today. It's hot shit or horse shit, and
Hot
we
shit or
have
horse shit.
it's a controversial one. Another note. The show, man. So it's beyond what anybody possibly predict from an ad tech show. All right, this week on hot shit or horse shit. We didn't have to censor them. We are talking about Quantcast. At Quantcast, we've taken a different approach. We built I can't read it.
Our foundation.
We built our
real-time
foundation.
Machine learning. Go ahead, Maldo. You got it, buddy.
Not constrain outdated rules-based expert systems. For 2 decades, our systems have been processing trillions of signals a day, learning continuously from every impression and every outcome. The foundation is what powers Q. Q is back. Our fully integrated AI suite designed to transform how performance marketers work. Q doesn't wait for instructions. It observes, interprets, and adjusts in real time, compounding intelligence with every decision it makes. In a world where intention is fleeting, the advantage goes to those who could understand and act in the moment. That's the difference between automation and autonomy. And for marketers, it changes everything. Experience Q, the self-driving intelligence for your campaigns, and gain the performance boost only autonomous AI can deliver.
All right, a few words of intro about Quantcast. 20 years old, right? This is one of the first companies to take data science and ad tech seriously, to say all this data of impressions, clicks, conversions could be predictive. We should run predictive models. We should have sophisticated technology to predict the value and bid accordingly. I not funneled, but I would say allocated a lot of money to Quantcast over their 20 years. They were very worthy of being taken seriously as a pioneer in using ad tech for data science. They were always a managed service DSP. They stayed mostly managed service through the trading desk era. I guess they at some point launched a DSP independent. I actually don't even know if they're managed service or an independent DSP or both now. But what I just know from reading that is they are trying to act like that their tech fits in the modern tech paradigm, but they are not saying the things that would make that true, right? They do not say we've rebuilt our stack. They're saying our algorithm is so good that it has leapt into the next era.
The QAnon references aside, which I think that I would be like leaning into at this point if I were them, because they've clearly hitched their wagon to it. This is probably the most fascinating full throat endorsement of Performance Max that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
They came out and said humans shouldn't be doing this. Humans should not be running campaigns. Algorithms should, and we have the best one. And that's just a gutsy play in 2025. I don't know. I think that people heard that one for the first time in probably 2010, and there's been a little bit of a revolution against that recently. People don't want to be told, just let our systems make you more money, okay? They don't like hearing that. So that being said, there are a lot of great ones in there. A self-driving DSP is a lovely mixed metaphor.
Okay, gonna go hot shit or horse shit on this.
I hate to say it about an actual company who I want to sell things to, but I don't think I can give this one hot shit. I just don't think I can do it. And I don't want to say fully horse shit because, if you have a really good algorithm, I'm actually very for that. Like what I was talking about earlier in the show. I think algorithms should be algorithms or they should be custom. I don't understand the desire for the in-between, but from a marketing perspective, it's an interesting one. Maybe to someone who is running a digital agency in 2025 who somehow has never run a digital campaign before, well, this will resonate. But
it's a throwback, right?
It is. It just seems it's a point out of time. That's what I find so fascinating about it.
Yeah. I'll call out horseshit. Just using the new language for old tech is horseshit. We had Casali on. He had to take a year of standing still in the marketplace to rebuild their technology, right? As an old SSP. And I think everyone should grow up and realize that this is hard for companies to do, but if the great companies are going to stay great companies in the next era, they gotta rebuild their tech. They have to re-architect things. It's too much has changed. The 20-year-old tech is gonna race the new tech. So
why the noise with them guys?
I'm not gonna call bullshit on that one. But with the last two where everyone was hot shit on, so
we needed one. We
have to find one that'll be a split. We'll have to split one. All right, we did all our bits. Does anybody else have anything to say?
I think we're set, guys.
All right, chat. Anyone? We'll let chat have the last word. I think they fell asleep. I think my son's watching today. He's homesick from school. Tazzy, if you're watching, I love you.
That's sweet.
Clean my belay.
Oh yeah.
Wash my belay. I need you to clean real good. Spotless, like a wash here. Everybody come and look. I get the whole room shook.
This is my daughter's favorite content.
Where did they get my gym soundtrack?
Maldo, you show it one more time. I want people who don't have an 8-year-old to understand what 8-year-old's favorite content. It's quiet.
Clean my belay. Wash my belay. I need you to clean look good. Spotless like a wash. Yeah, everybody come and look.
Future of content.
This is actually 8-year-olds content.
Yeah.
That's
She's
terrifying.
sophisticated. She watches grown-up stuff. She loved Wednesday. She's reading Hunger Games and watched those movies, but she thinks that is like the greatest possible content.
I mean, I like the music.
All right.
Perfect, guys. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you for your questions. It was nice to do a show without a guest, Adam. This was lovely.
Yeah, it was breath of fresh air.
What about the fresh air, buddy? We'll have more
I'm in
guests soon.
England next week, so guest host.
Yo, the crowd is back, the lights are dim. Front row's buzzing, it's about to